What's popping, guys? Welcome to ZeerTalks. Welcome to another edition of FC Bayern München Talk. Now, you guys are wondering, why am I recording at, my time, 6:35 in the morning? I was going to record a few hours ago, but I had to go to the gym and, all that stuff. So, yeah, I'm back, and now I can record. It's pretty simple as that. So, yeah, guys, for those who do hop on in, you're always welcome. You know what to do. Subscribe, press the alarm bell for future content notifications, like, comment your way, go check social, and inshallah you're well wherever you may be. Listen, I say we get started. As others pull up here, don't matter, but I'll do it anyway. Guys can watch it back, all that type of stuff. Plus, it's one of them experiment timing streams. You know what I mean? Why not? Screw it. Anyway, it says here, apparently Honeß had to say about Leão move. There was like concern in the boardroom, Rummenigge and all. Like, it was a split idea. Some say he's good, some say he's not. Or like they say he's good, but he doesn't have the mentality to play at Bayern because he doesn't work hard for the ball, which I do agree with for those who do. So I think Honeß was one of them. So yeah. This is the news. And it says as follows from, obviously, Amias and Mia, big up Amias and Mia. And the source here is Matteo Moretto. I don't know how legit this is, I'll be honest. I do not know how legit this is. Which is why my thumbnail title or video stream title, I have the emoji of like thinking because, yeah. But anyway. Beyond Uli Honeß' statement about Rafael Leão, the Portuguese winger is on a list of names that Bayern have evaluated and are still evaluating in recent days. So despite Honeß's words, Bayern have continued to have contacts and evaluate Leão's name internally, even in the past few days. However, at the moment, there's still no offer, and Bayern have yet to decide who is their main target. In short, after Nico Williams' extension, Leão remains one of the names in the Bayern list, but as of now, nothing more. Interesting. So they're contemplating, from what I'm understanding here. Listen, at this rate, just go get me somebody. At this rate, just go get me somebody. Anybody that can make a run in transition, can somewhat be a man, even if it means that they have to body fade only to do so. It don't matter at this rate. To be fair, Leão body fading ain't that bad anyway, so you may as well. Yeah, you know what I mean. I'm not the biggest fan of Leão. I don't think he's the type of guy that will work hard to win the ball. I think at times he does too much on the ball. Personally, for my liking, at times it works, at times it don't. It comes with bravery. You know what I mean? It comes with bravery, which I understand. And then his finishing is okay. I'm not gonna act like it's not. It is all right. But the thing is, he would have to step up with his mentality for him to up the numbers. So yeah, just at this rate, go get me somebody. It could be him. Personally, for me, I would rather Rodrigo. I would rather Lookman. I don't mind. Leão is like in one of them categories of the ones of the wingers, like the Martinellis, Gakpos. Like, I wouldn't mind them if I have no choice. You get me? It's one of them ones. And like hope for the best. So yeah, it's just listen, whatever it is, just get it done, man. Well, big up Mess, even though he moves like a fraud, but big up Mess saying F Nika off because what happened. But you know what? I read this news, right? There was one news about Bayern board and Leão. Let me see if there's news, because there was news about this on IMS and Mia. When was this? This is June 6th. No, I want the recent news. So yeah, this is the yeah, I read this one. Apparently, okay, so here's the thing. This is when was this posted? This is one of the Milan pages. When was this posted? This was posted 19 hours ago. Now, I'm not sure how true this is. Maybe I need to do a stream for Francesco. I don't know, but it's saying Uli Honeß, Bayern München director, spoke to BR24 Sport. Rafael Leão? No, he was never a subject for us. He had discussions, but they were not fruitful. I am not sure how true this is. I am not sure how true this really is. Personally, for me. Is there any other news that I can have a look at here? Because a lot of the thing is, last I remember is there was talks between Max Erbel, Christoph Hewand, Karl Rummenigge, and Uli Honeß. And what was mentioned was basically there were half of the guys were with the move and the other half was not. Now, I am willing to think, based on everything mentioned, especially in that first tweet that I read, that Honeß was one of the guys that was not happy with the move. I'm willing to think that he's one of the guys that's not happy with the move. I get it, but here's the thing. We need to just go get somebody at this rate. Get somebody and wish something happened. Listen, I've seen a lot of instances in which we're not happy with something, and then next thing you know, boom, out of nowhere they just stop performing. You know what I'm saying? So just go get somebody. Yeah, I know people are teasing me with Rashford about this rate. Whatever. Leão, we can get better than him, but you get what I mean. Leão is one of them ones that, I'll be real, ain't gonna hurt us too much. It's gonna annoy me that he doesn't want to work for the ball. Like, people need to understand, we have Vincent Kompany as our manager. Now, does he have mentality? Sure. I'll give Kompany one thing. He has mentality. Maybe he can get something out of Leão. But does he have the in-game management to manage everything? I don't know. Like, this is a problem with the Leão thing for me. Like, Leao's mentality is an issue, and I don't know if Kompany can deal with it as much as I expect him to deal with it. You get what I'm saying? And then you have who else do we have? We were looking at Martinelli, the Diaz. I think Luis Diaz not happening anymore. And so Luis Diaz, especially after what happened again. thoughts and prayers to these two families. But yeah, that's why I don't think the Luis Diaz thing is happening regardless. And I think even if he left, he would have gone to like a Nasser or something. But apparently at Nasser, they've even moved on. They moved on to Martinelli, from my understanding. So it's just one of them ones. But this is the problem. This is the problem, SSB. My problem is his ego, his own ego. Like, if he didn't have an ego, no problem. You know what it is with Luis Diaz? I don't know if you're talking about that party thingy about it. That's tapped. However, if we're sticking to football here, but I don't know why I feel something. But if we're sticking to football, I actually don't think he's a bad player. I don't think he's a bad player. However, I do have to say this. His finishing is very lackluster. It would be like having Kingsley Coman. You get me? I'm not moved. A lot of South American fans have turned, yeah, man, I'm not going to let him partying and a teammate of his that they passed. That's fucked up, bro. He done fucked up, bro. I'll be real. Gio, Rodrigo, or Lookman, sign me the fuck up, bro. Sign me the fuck up. The problem is they ain't going to go for him. The other one, I think this board will probably go for Rodrigo because it is possible still. It is still very possible. I feel like they would go for him if, let's say, Rodrigo says he wants to dip. Like, he confirms that he wants to dip. Like, news come out that he said to Madrid he wants to go. And then now Bayern enter the race. Because Bayern has this weird habit. They don't like to strike when nothing is confirmed. You understand? So they're not willing to take too many risks. And this is why I only think they would go for him if... Yeah, but let's be honest. I know he said he wants to go to the Premier League. I know. There was a discussion when I was in Al Ahwa today. Big up Hissam for letting me on for cooking, in order for me to cook Hamza and that, but for Hilal and that. But like, let's be honest. I was gonna say, but they were all talking over one another. I would not be shocked if we entered the race. I genuinely wouldn't be shocked. Like, if we enter, like, it would take for us to get fucked over so many times for it to happen because our board's stupid. They're brain dead. But the longer Arsenal take, which we know how Arsenal move as well, when one donkey moves, another donkey, when they have all the time in the world, eventually they wake up, boom. You get me? But I could see a similar circumstance to Michael Olise. Michael Olise, when he joined us, by the way, he wanted Chelsea, and I think Man United were in for him as well. And then what happened? Max Erbel wanted Olise, and then Olise immediately said, Bayern. Just like that. I could see a similar instance with Rodrigo. If we actually wake the fuck up, though. The problem is we don't wake the fuck up. If we woke the fuck up, he's changing his mind, surely. Because there's no way a guy like Rodrigo is going to be thinking, I'm winning at Arsenal. Now, I know Arsenal signed Gyökeres, but this is another thing that people need to think about. Like, are they still going to go for Eze? Which I know he's a 10, but still, you have to consider that. And then what happens with the Madueke deal? There's Madueke confirmed. Because can't Madueke play on the left? Like, knowing Arsenal, they're not going to be moving like that. Maybe Rodrigo will want Arsenal right now, but he can change his mind. Bro, I've seen instances, hell, even with my club to Liverpool, with Wirtz, he wanted Bayern. Then he changed his mind. Like, he was willing to listen to his dad in that. He was willing to listen to his dad, the agent, into staying at Bayern. And then we moved slow. Boom. Liverpool pounced. Leverkusen want to sell to Liverpool. Boom. Deal done. Like, I could see a similar instance if Arsenal's not careful and if we actually wake up. But we're not going to wake up. That's the problem. And now apparently PSG want him as well. Now, if PSG are in a race with us, then maybe Rodrigo would choose PSG. Because PSG, he can find his way to fitting into that team. He really can. But then again, that would also depend on Bradley Barcola. Like, is Barcola going to leave? Is he going to stay? Like, are we going to get Barcola and then they get Rodrigo? because I know our board wants Barcola. Company went to PSG v Marseille game to have a look at that. I think there's a lot of scenarios that we have to consider when talking about these things, man. When it comes to Rodrigo specifically, but yeah, it's just, bro, Bayern München, man. Like, can we please wake up and actually go get somebody? Like, Honeß, apparently, despite Honeß talks, they're actually contacting. Okay, is that who you want? If that's who you want, go get it done. Am I a fan? No, but like, I'm sick and tired of getting rejected all over the place. Honest to God, I'm just sick and tired getting rejected. Who knows? Maybe Leão will somehow turn up to be our version of what's his name, Rafinha, or even better. Who the hell knows? Allahu A'lam. Just go get somebody, man. Just go get somebody. Seriously, and we need a 10. That's something people need to understand. We just have Musiala. Musiala just got injured. The fact that Musiala got injured, now we need a 10 as well. We need to go get Voltemade. Maybe the plan is Voltemade plays a shadow striker with Kane, God knows. Or Kane is that shadow striker, with Voltemade being the 9. Go get, and even then we need another 10. Because Voltemade wouldn't be enough. Go get players, man. Get the players in as soon as possible. Let's have them in for preseason and let's move on. I beg, for the love of God. I'm sick and tired of this crap, man. I swear down. Big up to Menas saying, just finished watching Ahwazir. I'm disappointed with you not taking advantage of never put a bid narrative. What do you mean never put a bid narrative? What do you mean? What are you on about? What are you on about they never put a bid narrative? I didn't think of it. I don't know what you're on about. Man saying disappointed. I don't know what you're disappointed with, bro. صباح النور حبيبي. But Mercato just started. There you are. Brozier, tomorrow Sancho will be confirmed. There you are. Yeah, by the way, speaking of this guy's club, bro, the Hilal news that we got, man. Oh my, stay tuned for it, man, because bro, I'm gonna do a Hilal content maybe later, bro. Oh my. Gee,
brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Man said we need this. I am not in the mood for that one, bro. Man. I'm not a fan of what that specific name is. Bloody somebody miss, bro. Allow it. Sancho will look like Ronaldinho. Verts didn't reject Bayern. No. So, Mena, what you don't understand, and by the way, I did mention it, but I mentioned, like, by that logic, I could say that thingy. I could mention that we didn't get rejected, but the truth is because of that. But the thing is, bro, if we're being really honest, Uli Honeß, he actually wanted this to happen. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge even said that Wirtz's best German talent. They were approaching the deal. It's just they didn't put the bid in. And they just, by then, Wirtz just chose Liverpool. So technically, just based on the fact that Honeß and Rummenigge was interested, and his dad was willing to stay in Germany, and Wirtz is the deciding factor, yes, we did get rejected, bro. I'm sorry to say we did. However, I did mention by that the logic of some individuals there. Big up to them. I can bring that up. But I didn't. So, like what you said, I could bring up, I didn't. And some agreed. Anyway. Gyökeres as a PSG Bayern can fight for Rodrigo. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it depends on what happens in that. Yeah, bro. Fraud behavior. Yeah, Ahmed was moving. Sami, bro, he was moving fraud, bro. If Blaho Miss came to my club, I will quit from football. Well, we're gonna have to talk about it, bro. Yes, guys, we will talk about this in a Hilal stream. I cannot believe this. I cannot. Stay tuned for that one, bro. Oh my God. Bro, Voltemada and Kane, make it happen, man. Hey, pay the money and get the player. But the problem, you see, the problem with this board, right? The problem with this board, hey, Mena is a Bayern fan, right, in the chat. The problem with our board is they act like they're broke, but in reality, we make so much revenue because of the 50+1 rule and because of our success. Like, their excuses were in debt, but our debt is nothing compared to other clubs. If anything, we've generated, I think second highest revenue last year, just because of our fans and the sponsorships alone. But I'm supposed to believe we can't spend money for players. Okay then, sure. Yeah, cry me a fucking river about fucking debt. Go get players. Like, I'm sorry, bro. I'm not hearing this shit. So yeah, bro. Inside Bundesliga, even Champions League if we have to. By the way, even Champions League if we have to. Bro, Kane drops deep anyway, regardless. So you may as well. Bro, inside near, we spent 100 mil. Well, I know they said 95. I don't believe. I think we actually spent 100. Like, come on, man. And to be fair, now it's 20 million add-ons because of the Bundesliga that he won. Imagine. So, or I think it's the add-ons work. They get paid the full amount, or but yeah, 20 mil add-ons, man. So, what was saying here? But I know for a fact has less debt than Spanish and English. There you go. Levy is a madman. He is a madman. No. I would believe that they have some sort of debt, but even the debt that they have, nothing in comparison to the other situations. That's my point. It's pale in comparison to other clubs. It really is. Unless if your name is like maybe Man City or PSG or something, or Madrid. Actually, even Madrid have more debt than us. But look what they're doing. I know they get their players on a free, but they're at least showing intent, bro. Bro, if you can't get a player in, right, that is a big name, right, that can do something and P fans don't rate, maybe go look within that we don't, on players that we don't know of that have somewhat talent elsewhere, bro. Do that. They're not even doing that. They're not even doing the bare minimum. If I was now to show you a piece of news from IMS and Mia recently, we're letting a specific player go when we shouldn't. But why are we letting him go? We're letting him go because this individual does not speak German. Follow. Here, let's read this together. Still no agreement between Bayern and Celta Vigo for Brian Zaragoza. Bayern are demanding a paid loan for around 2 million and an obligation to buy with worth 12 to 15 million. So that's what they want. Bournemouth are keeping an eye on Zaragoza, but the player prefers to stay in Spain. He wants to go because of what happened with Bayern and him, with what I mentioned earlier. Like, we could be keeping this guy. He's a baller, yeah? But we wanna let him go because he don't speak English nor German. Bro, if you can teach him German and all that, you think when Kane pulled up, he knew how to speak German? No, he didn't. Yeah, he spoke English, and I get it, he's English. But still, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here, man? These men are focused on, like, the things that shouldn't be mattering in football because you can adapt with that rather than focusing about what matters. But their priorities in the wrong place, man. Bro. So this club sometimes moves idiotic, man. Their arrogance and their way of thinking sometimes is just jarring to be listened to, bro. What happened to the days of being ruthless at this club? What happened? What happened, bro? Shoe company is making sure Bayern is not in debt. To be fair, that is a good point. However, that's what I mean. They're making sure they are not, but that doesn't change whether they still are, to some degree. But they're not in a lot of debt because of what you said, Adidas. And you know what? That's, to be fair, that's because of his relation. Herbert Heiner's relationship with Adidas. Bayern also being in Germany, aka the biggest economy in Europe, helps as well. Yeah, to be fair, but that's more of a Bundesliga thing, by the way. That's more of a Bundesliga thing. That's not a Bayern thing only. That's a Bundesliga as a whole. Okay, خلينا يعني صريح. He can, but the way he speaks English is weird. Okay. Man said Kane can't speak English. Well, I know you guys want to troll. I'm actually being serious. Come on now. I've seen Zaragoza play, and he's like a 1 in 3 out of 4 games good type player. Bro, come on, SSB. Let's not do this, man. The guy cooked against Barcelona. The guy can cook back lines, bro. We need somebody that can do that. Impact, brother. Impact. I'm not. You know what it is with me with Company? I get that he won the league and they're giving him another season because of it, because we won a league. Great, fine. Realistically, though, that's not supposed to be our standard. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm intrigued to see how we do with better players and Company as manager. I am intrigued, but at the same time, if we're going by principle of how things was done at Bayern, realistically, he shouldn't be here. Wallah al-Azim, I'm being honest. Like, I can accept it for now, but at the same time, he should not be here. I don't mind Company. I have nothing against Company. I just feel like he's learning on the job. Zaragoza, the owner of Barcelona. Oh, there you go. And by the way, weeks later, we lost to Barcelona 4-1. Congrats. Man said I speak better English than Kane. Big up, man. Big up, man. Big up. I realize. Good night, bro. I realize in PSG game, Bayern only have Olise, Kane, and Kane as sparks or game changer. Musiala is obviously a game changer, but the problem is he gets injured. Kimmich is one of them guys. Defensively won't help, but like he's one of them ones that if he picks the right pass and it hits, bro. The problem is he likes to like slow down the game. That's the problem with Joshua Kimmich. He needs to stop slowing down the game, bro. If he can stop slowing down the game, I think you get a better version of the guy. That's just my opinion. Company tactics were better than Enrique. Company tactics were better than Enrique yesterday. Company in-game management is not. This is my biggest problem. The in-game management is not good enough. Man brought Bowie instead of Guerrero. Why? Okay, Stanisic hurt. Okay. Why Bowie? You know, Bowie is the same guy that cost us against Inter Milan, by the way. And you're bringing him against PSG. Very smart, Vincent Company. I have to say, it's very smart, bro. Very, very smart. And then he subs off Bowie and brings on Guerrero. Oh. Congratulations, bro. So that was a waste of a sub right there. Waste of a sub right there. It was very weird. Kingsley Coman, Thomas Muller. I'm looking at the subs right now, by the way, just so I don't mess it up, yeah? So if we look at the sub specific, so 34th minute, Bowie comes on because Stanisic hurt. Why didn't you just bring Guerrero from the get-go, play Lima right back? Solves all the problems. Nabri for Jamal Musiala, okay, makes sense. For what we have, makes sense. Okay. Why did you bring on Goretzka when Pavlovic is performing very well? This was not the game to manage the guy's minutes. This was a game that was a must-win. Why are we removing Pavlo for Goretzka? The guy Goretzka dropped deep so many times. It cost us, bro. And he wasn't moving like how he was in certain games last season, which is very disappointing. Thomas Muller, I get why he's on because, again, last game, all this. And he put Gnabry on the left. But it's just, Muller is slow. But this is why we need, again, better squad. And this is the one that I don't get. You brought Guerrero for Bowie afterwards. Yeah, Habibi, just bring Guerrero in the Bidaya. Just bring him on from the beginning. Why didn't you just do that? You know? And if I look at the bench right now, okay? Let's look at the bench right now. Why didn't you bring Esnu on? That's another player. Maybe you could have brought Esnu. Maybe Esnu could have taken advantage of all the Hakimi runs that he made. Esnu versus Hakimi, They know each other very well. Maybe that's where Eznu thrives. Maybe this was the game for Eznu to shine, you know? Why didn't we give him an opportunity? And I'm one for saying, like, don't play him in aggressive games. I feel like this is one of them games that was tactical. So maybe you could have brought him on, you know? Or who else? Who else do we have here? Yeah, other than that, I would say Eznu. Yeah. Why don't we do that? There's Tom Bischoff. Maybe you try Tom Bischoff if you wanted to put him somewhere in the midfield. Switch up formation a little bit. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make here, his substitution is not good enough. You know, it's like they're all over the place. Like, you know what it is with Kompany? He thinks in the he reacts in the moment. That's the best way to sum up Vincent Kompany. He just reacts in the moment. You can't be reacting in the moment. You have to be proactive. You know, think ahead of time. You know, in halftime, you're supposed to use that to think. And then as the game goes on, if you realize something, cool. But this guy, I feel like he's just going with the motion. He's going with the flow. Like, bro, you need to notice little details in the PSG's game to notice what needs to be changed. I just don't think he noticed that. I just don't see it. You know what I mean? And that's the difference for me between like the manager at Al Hilal and at Bayern, Inzaghi and Kompany. Although Inzaghi subs were done late. But let's be honest, when he does make them, at the time that he makes them, they at least work. If he needs to change tactics, he will do it. This Kompany guy too stubborn, bro. Also, this is another thing I need to talk about. Could you imagine? We played with more urgency, and I mean like quick football, after being 2-0 down against 9 men. Like, I know we conceded 11v11, but we conceded the second, and we didn't score prior against 9 fucking men. And it's a 10 men. 9 fucking men. And we're not playing with urgency when we could be prior. But we show urgency after we concede 2. Yeah, Habibi, what was the point? Yeah, Habibi, play with urgency min al-bida. This is what I mean, proactiveness. What's up with managers in today's game not being proactive? What is it? I want to know. Where is the You see, Enrique, proactive, bro. Proactive. غصباً عنك, proactive. This Kompany guy, no proactive game. We're going to react in the moment. What's this behavior? This is going to win us a double or a Champions League. Yeah, Habibi, give me a break. Yes, 100%. And the right players too. Bro, by the way, a manager could change. So, bro, a manager could even change how some of these bums play in our team. That's another thing I want to address. You see Hansi Flick? Some bums at Barcelona are performing for a fucking reason. Enough said. Imagine if we had Hansi Flick with this team. And it's not the best of teams, but guess what? He will somehow make it work. Levels, bro. Levels to this game. Oh, I thought you were going to bed, but big up to you, boy. Smash the likes, everyone. I don't like saying smash the likes, saying slap it, because smash sounds zesty to me, bro. But hey, regardless, hit the like button. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Anyway, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna put the link out. Whoever wants to join and speak, it's down below. But this is Bayern situation. Come on, man. Like, Kompany needs to do better. Oh shoot, camera, folks. Kompany needs to do better in games, and as well, the board needs to get the players in. And back to Leão. Get him if you want him. If you want him, just go get him. But for me, realistically, I would rather go get Rodrigo or Lookman. Honest to God. That's what I would rather do. So. Taking medications, But anyway, heart problems. Anyway, nobody's going to join. Nobody wants to have a say on the matter. Interesting. Oh, he said you'll stop trolling. Fairs. But yeah, man, this club, man. This club is just moving absolutely. Like, the thing is, I think we need so obviously Voltemade would be one. So that's striker /10. But then we need another 10. We then need a winger. That's 2 signings. Then we need a midfielder, by the way. Imagine, we need a midfielder still. Bischoff, Pavlo, Goretzka, Kimmich. That's not enough. Kimmich needs help. Right? And Pavlo hit and miss. Even though he can play like a massive hit, but he does hit and miss. Right? So that's 3 already. Then we need center back, an extra one. That's 4. Now we're going to need, I'd say a fullback, 5. Because what would you have? Esnu, but Esnu, he looks like he wants to go if he doesn't get minutes, right? And we're playing Stani, and that Stani is like one of them that could be left back, right back. Limer is gonna play right back regardless. Sometimes a left back, but like you're better off, getting a right back or a left back. So that's 5. And then I said 10 striker, winger, midfielder, center back, fullback. There, so 6. Am I missing a position? I must be missing a position somewhere. Probably 7 because I missed a position somewhere. Like we just need reinforcements. Maybe backup right back because we need to sell Bowie. Yeah, but we have work to do. We generally have work to do, man, if we're going to actually compete at the highest of levels again. If we're going to compete in the highest of levels again and try to get the league, the Pokal, and 7 Champions Leagues and more, we need to fix this squad. This squad needs fixing. Absolute fix. If anything, because I know they're going to make excuse of wages, which I understand to some degree, but like they do too much. Sell Goretzka. Generally sell this guy. Sell Goretzka. Who else can you sell? Sell Coman, Gnabry. Even if they want to get rid of them, go get other players, right? Who else can we get rid of? I would get rid of Kim, but we need a center back because I don't want to play Stanley center back. Like I get he's good utility, but still now. Even Lime is supposed to be utility, but not for center back, obviously for midfield / right back or even left back, to be fair. And then obviously you have Neuer and Orbe, so the goalkeeper is not the biggest deal in the world right now. Striker, I mean, if you get Voltemade, but we need 10s, so. Exactly. Big up to you. Exactly. That's what we need. And the only way that happens is if we go ruthless mode on the transfer market. Are we gonna do that? I don't know, man. I don't see it, bro. Max Urban lately has been moving fraudulent. Apparently, I heard that the guy's not concerned about players. Did he actually say that? If he said that, he's crazy. Did this guy actually say that? Swear, I heard he said that. If he said that, he's a nutcase. Pause. Like, there's no way man believes nothing's needed. By the way, apparently, extra news before I continue. It says Jamal Musiala flying back to München separately from the rest of the team. Bayern have offered a private air ambulance for a quick return. Musiala will undergo surgery in Murnau shortly after landing. Okay. So that's good news. Inshallah, he recovers well and quick as possible, and then rehabs very well and all. But yeah, did Herbal say anything about the? What did Due say? Oh, big up to Due for that. Max Herbal and whether injury will influence the squad planning. Let's read this. Do you think Musiala will be back 4 or 5 months? No. It's going to be longer, and I think it should be longer, by the way. Anyways. Oh, shoot. I thought that I had the thing. Why did it go? Let me bring it back. Where is it? Share screen. Boom. Okay. You guys see it? Yes, you guys do. Let me make this fraud, Peter Griffin looking MF for speaking. Anyway, Let's read what this individual has to say. Okay. Let's go. Max Orbel on whether injuries will have an influence on the squad's planning transfers. And I quote, when we do our squad planning, we take into consideration what happened last season. Okay, great. I mean, you should take in consideration what happened the season prior to. Take in consideration everything that's wrong with this team and actually fix it. Okay. We don't want to use injuries as an excuse for all the results. Oh, you know what? Hey, step one in the right direction. Okay, no excuses. But let's see if he actually keeps up the energy. But what we learned from last season is that we don't have to do a lot for 25-26. Bear with me 1 second, guys.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all, everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog shit.
Man said, we don't have to do a lot for 2025-26 season. Is he chatting from his ass? I say step one in the right direction, and then he goes step back. Fantastic. So back to square one. We definitely want to adjust things, but in our opinion, if we had our full squad, we have the feeling that we would have beaten Inter and advanced further. Okay, so you say that, but prior you said we don't want to use injuries as an excuse for all the results. I get what you're trying to say, to be fair. However, keep the energy, brother. Keep the energy. Stop being a fraud. All right? Stop being a fraud. Anyway, and by the way, that's on you for not building a squad. So whose fault is it really? Remember when you didn't want to pay the money for Jonathan Tah then? We could have used him rather than Kim and Jay playing through Achilles tendon injuries. Or actually, even better, maybe don't sell De Ligt because of money he was earning that was deservedly so, and the one season he got injured. One of the best defenders, in my opinion, in the world, by the way, De Ligt. I don't care what anyone tells me. I've seen it for my club. Hey, him being a Man United is making him look bad or not as good. I'm telling you right now, what I'm saying about him, from what I've seen, and all of a sudden, our board decided to let him go. Fucking pathetic. Absolutely fucking pathetic. Disgraceful, bro. And that's all on Herbal. That's all on fucking Herbal. I will never forget this. I'll never forget this, man. Seriously. And it's on Tuchel as well, this fucking donkey. Actually, before I continue, let me show you what Tuchel is in my eyes. This motherfucker. Tal, where is he? He's another culprit. This haywan rather die than the Tal. This is him. Donkey Tuchel, right here. Nobody's allowed to tell me he ain't a fucking donkey. He is the worst winning manager in football history. The worst, bro. That Chelsea Champions League win fooled the world. It fooled the fucking world, bro. Man. Nah, man, listen. He suits a specific team, but he don't fit a team like Bayern München at all. He don't fit a team like Bayern. He ain't fitting a team like Barca and all them, man. He don't fit, bro. He don't even fit Liverpool Football Club, bro. Yeah? Maybe he'll fit Real Madrid because Real Madrid, they're willing to adapt no matter what, but he ain't fitting teams like us. No way, bro. No way. Should have let him just go to Tottenham, the prick. Allah al-Azim. Anyway, he's a donkey. And now you wait and see until what he does for England as well. He's gonna ruin man, bro. You get me? So, hey, and by the way, he favored this guy. He favored Leroy Thing. This guy hate watches and coming. Duran just signed for Fenerbahce. Step one in the hate watch mission, complete. Let's go, bro. Boring.
Every single thing in it is mid.
This guy, forget mid, he's shit. Oh my god. Absolutely, bro, he's diabolical. Absolutely diabolical, bro. Anyway. Nah, man, that guy infuriates the fuck out of me. I swear down, bro. The arrogance as well in the media, the way he speaks, it's just pathetic. Anyway, so where was I? The quality that we missed on the pitch due to injuries hurt us. Okay, yes, true, but that's your fault. Especially the way these injuries happened. Yes, I understand. The Upamecano one during the France international duty. Not like he was not going to make a mistake against Inter, I feel like, but then again, still he was playing good prior. Alphonso Davies, I actually thought was one of the best performing left backs, other than what's his name, Mendes, until he got injured. If he didn't get injured, I think people would have started saying that about him. But again, he got injured. But I understand that international duty injury he got because of Jesse March being a fraud. Absolute waste of space. Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, especially the way these injuries happen, most were freak injuries and not regular muscle injuries. We don't have to complain. We want to look ahead. But we don't have to react and sign a player after every injury. We want to make adjustments and hopefully the injured player, Davies, Musiala, Ito, are back in October, November, and towards the end of this. I don't think he understands the but this guy he doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. Man said it's not about replacing it's about building the squad so that if somebody's injured, somebody's there to take over. Do you not get the concept of building a fucking squad, bro? Oh my, this guy, man. It's gonna be the death of me. But bro, this guy should be gone, bro. Anyone backing Max Erbel, I wanna know why. I genuinely wanna know why. Please, if you back this guy, please tell me why. I'm not gonna curse you out or anything. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. This whole me cursing out people this, and all this stuff. Bro, like, Kalas, I'm getting tired of it, bro. I'm getting tired of this. All I want is we actually do something, bro. Do something and go far, bro. That's it. That's all I want. And I just want to win. Is it that hard to ask? We've won 6 Champions Leagues, 34 Bundesligas, 20 DFB Pokals, but I'm out here. I'm supposed to be out here saying, nah, we don't need to do much. When we're in this state, come on, bro. Let's not do this. Max Erbel recently told the press that it is not difficult to use basic math to realize we need more than one signing. I wonder if he's aware of his own words. Bro, I'll be honest. Like, see Erbel, like, this is why I feel such ways about him.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
Like, I genuinely don't care to take this guy's words at times seriously. So he says that, which is not a lie, by the way. And then he said what he said, bro. Man's not keeping the same energy, you know. My man's not even keeping the same energy. It's crazy. So yeah, man, it's peak. And bro, he's also moving like what Lee Gunner's saying here.
Got sent off. Man did baby giraffe. Collapsed. Oh, but he was pushed. Bissaka was choked. Nobody cares, bruv.
Well, exactly. Nobody cares. Big up Lee. Nobody cares. Like, this whole injury talk, who gives a fuck? You did not build a squad. You did not build a good enough squad to be winning trophies. That's on you. You and you. Oh, man. And it's not just you. Fucking Honeß as well being a cheapskate as well. Him being a cheapskate doesn't help. It does not help at all. Not one bit. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, cheapskate, not helping. Heiner, I mean, he's doing whatever he's doing in terms of the business side of the club. He's not really too focused on the football side. So I let him off, right? Like, Honeß is the biggest problem because Uli Honeß, he's the one that proves everything. He's the legend of this club as a football player and as a board member, supervisory board. I can accept that, no problem. I appreciate what he's done for this club, especially if you do your history research. But at the same time, the guy needs to walk because his ideas are outdated. He's not keeping up with the times. While teams like Madrid, I know they get their players for free, but they pay hella wages to these guys that are actually quality, right? They take advantage of opportunities for these players that fit a system or somewhat of quality to turn up when it matters, right? And they pay them high wages. Barcelona, they get players within from La Masia, and they'll get a few players, and they're cooking now under Hansi Flick. Hansi Flick, by the way, example of why he should have been at Bayern. Because he was doing that type of stuff with us in 2020 and 21. Okay. Anyway, we move. Liverpool. Liverpool this summer are actually spending the money. Liverpool this summer spending the money. They don't usually do it. They usually move like how we're moving right now. However, they've been spending money, and they did so by beginning by beating us to Verts. They then get Kirkis, and they got in. Who did they get in as well? They got in. I'm missing a name on the top. SSB, you're a Liverpool fan. Help me out here. Or Liverpool fans in the chat, help me out here. There was another player you guys got in as well, and I'm forgetting. It's slipping off my head. Like, I know you're looking at Isaac, but I don't know if you're going to get him. You sold Kwanzaa for 35 mil, I think. Frimpong, yes, ping pong, yes. But that was a release clause. Like, that's what it is. Like, Edwards is the director that, fans should be looking for from a director. He's an example of what fans should be looking for. That's why Al Hilal fans, by the way, were typing Edwards' name as a hashtag a month or so ago when Mufraj was not moving any good, when he was getting rejected by Osimhen and bloody Bruno and that. Because of stuff like this, you know what I mean? He's just that good of being a director. And at the time, Hilal moving fraudulent to some degree, even though they were moving and showing intent, but they just overly went intent for wrong names at the wrong timings. Like, Edwards is who you need to be like. That's the point. Yeah, and Max Erbel ain't showing that. That's the problem. So that's Liverpool. Another example. PSG, Nasser Khalifi. He did an interview with, I believe it's called the El Cas show, which is the cup show, right? In Qatar. After they won the Champions League. Man literally told them after winning the Champions League, this is a great achievement, but this is nothing in terms of building a dynasty in our club. We need to be striving for more. Use this as a reason to strive for more Champions League wins, more Ligue 1 wins and all. Man wants to build a fucking dynasty in Paris. He wants to build a dynasty. He said this. Go watch. It's out there. It's out there in some Arab news. If you guys don't understand Arabic, the Arabs can watch and they can understand for themselves. And then for those who don't understand, if they know an Arab, show an Arab this clip and let them translate it. The guy is striving for success. But we're out here. Money, value. Bro, in all due respect, Bayern München right now in Europe, we move like Arsenal. We move like Arsenal. Ask me more. Why are we moving like Arsenal fucking football club? Tell me. Bro, even Man City showing intent, by the way. Huh? So another team out of them. We're moving like Arsenal football club. FC Bayern München. Your Arsenal usually are in our pockets. And we are moving like them. Why? At least why do you ask? I'll tell you why. We look at money valuation and all this stuff. That's all we do. Money valuation. And we look at fucking... what else do we look at? Wages. How much is he on? Is it worth it? Get the wrong names. It's similar to Arsenal, man. Similar to Arsenal. Bro. Just get business done. I'm sorry, just get business done. Oh, big up Jester, man. Man said trophy. Man put a trophy up. What's that trophy for, though? What's that trophy, though, for Jester? What's that for, though? I'm very intrigued to know. But nah, man, listen, it's just this board, man. This board is just... I'm getting sick and tired. Like, This guy contradicted himself in that interview as well, but like it's just sad. But I'm supposed to believe that we're gonna get back to winning ways. Yeah, we're Bundesliga because of competition, but come on, man. Man said Mexico, you know. Oh, shoot. Big up Jester for the raid. I see 46 of you are in the building. Hey, subscribe, like, comment your way, go check socials, and inshallah you're well wherever you are, man. Big up to Jester for the raid. I'm guessing these are similar people that was a part of Sunshine's stream because she did raid Jester himself. So yeah. Interesting, guys. But big up to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, comment your way, inshallah you're well wherever you are again. So yeah, no, we were talking about Rafael Leão news, and then we're talking about what Bayern should do in general. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, Lee as well. Oh shit. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Now big up to every single one of them, man. And speaking of Lee, hey, listen again. For those who just joined, bro, Max Erbel making injury excuses after Inter game.
Got sent off. Man did baby giraffe. Collapsed. Oh, but he was pushed. Bissaka was choked. Nobody cares, bruv.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. This is why you build a squad. You build a squad so you, when somebody gets hurt, you compensate. That's how it works. Ha! Jester, we both watch WWE. Maybe some of you do, some of you don't. Ha! If somebody in the WWE locker room gets injured, you don't think they Triple H and the man have a plan B for if something wrong happens? Bro, when Seth Rollins got injured against, what was his name? Jinder Mahal, I believe. Right? Mania plans was about to change. Actually, it did change. Mania plans changed, actually, even with this whole The Raw Cody Rhodes stuff. Like, no, but you're not getting the point. The point is adapt. Adapt, bro. You get a squad to adapt. You have a lot of wrestling talent rosters to use. That's the point I'm trying to make here, right? Like, the point I'm trying to make is you need a roster. You need a roster so that if something goes wrong, the other one can take over. That's the similar concept. Obviously, the booking thing and that stuff, different, 100%, Justin. The point is roster. I'm talking like in the football case of roster is a squad. We need a squad. If somebody injured, take, so the other guy takes advantage of the opportunity if they're good enough. That's the point, bro. And then here's another problem, and this is a problem with today's gen as well, which, again, I understand players have mentality, and I respect it. But if you really have the mentality, don't you think you have to be earning your way into the starting 11 in the training ground? Like, I don't know what happens in the training ground, though, because to be fair, some players sometimes scam their way into it because managers are stupid. But if that's the case, sure, I hear it. And maybe you need to go elsewhere, look for opportunities elsewhere, want game time. But there are players that sometimes move lazy, and I'm like, brother, you don't deserve to be playing at all. Again, earn your place in the team. At least try to. And if the manager moves stupid, then okay, it makes more sense for you to want to go. But yeah, this is the whole problem as well, because I know sometimes directors and board members look at that, the mentality of the players, even though they have the talent to be performing. Like, it's just, bro, I don't know. Bro, I'm, again, left winger. You want a winger? Whoever it is, go get him, bro. None of this like, oh, we're looking everywhere. We're going to half-ass this one. We're going to half-ass that one. We're going to half-ass this one. It makes no fucking sense, guys. It makes no fucking sense. Yes, have plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever. I get it. But try to go for that specific target, bro. Because then it gives that player a reason to think, oh, these guys do genuinely want me. So now I actually want to go there. This is a big club. This is this. And yes, they're going through it, but maybe I might be that game changer. Who knows? That's what Uli probably thought when he left Crystal Palace for Bayern München. Has anyone thought of that? Look how he performed. Like, my point is, Get somebody that has the mentality to want to play for Bayern, that want to play for Bayern. And the way that Kane moves at striker, even though he should be in the box, and I still stick by that, at least, al aqal, somebody can compensate for Kane's shenanigans. At least. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, now he is an example of a dumbass, though. He is an example of a dumbass because he signed Ajax players, and all of a sudden, with his agency, by the way, and all of a sudden, I don't want to play Ajax football. No. I don't want to play Ajax football. By the way, I'm curious to see how he does at Bayer Leverkusen. I really am. I'm really curious to see how he does at Bayer Leverkusen because Leverkusen now losing Alonso. I actually don't know if they're going to compete with Bayern next season. I really don't. I know they signed Kwanzaa, but is Kwanzaa going to be a good replacement for Ta under Ten Hag? I don't know. So, yeah. Big up, Justin, man. Thanks for the raid again, man. So, yeah, man. It's just one of them one. It's just one of them ones. Big up, bro. Big up. It's just, come on, man. Come on, man. But this board needs to wake the fuck up. This board needs to wake up the fuck up. The supervisory boards mainly need to wake the fuck up. You know what? I actually want to show you guys something. I'm going to show you guys something here. And after I show you guys this and explain my point with this, I'm going to probably end if nobody joins. Let me show you something. I sent this to Amar and we talked about it on FCB show. On his channel. I want to open this and show it because I feel like it's very important to display to every single one of you, so I get my point across. Because this describes everything wrong with Bayern today. It does. Okay, let's get rid of this. Why is it not getting rid? Okay. It's a very long ass thingy, but it's fine. Let me wait. Okay, perfect. Why? Okay, you know what? Let me actually, you know what? Let me copy this. There you go. There you go, guys. Okay, there you go. That's more like it. Let's show it to you guys. Okay, so this is when Matthias was basically saying that he thinks that spending around 80 million to 100 M's for Voltimadi would be a good idea for Bayern. He was basically recommending for Bayern to do it. For those who don't know who Voltimadi is, he's that up-and-coming German striker at Stuttgart who's been performing well the second half of last season, which is actually in the first team the only amount of time he's played. Okay, I just got notified. Damn, Amar is not happy with me at all. But yeah, back to this. Okay, let's read this. Lothar Matthias responds to Uli Honeß after the Honeß basically saying that he needs to shut up. He was basically saying, I think as well, that he's giving Stuttgart ammunition. He needs to learn when to speak and when to shut up sometimes and all this stuff. That long story short. His response is, first of all, and it's Matthias to Honeß, I have to say that I'm used to Uli Honeß's insults and I don't take them seriously anymore. He's been doing that for 20 to 25 years. That is saying something, by the way. I don't let it get to me. That makes you thick-skinned. Uli Honeß still lives in his own world and still hasn't understood that not only football, but also business has evolved. See this? You see this?
This motherfucker don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
Facts. but he doesn't get it. I'm aware of what's going on in the market. I mentioned 80 to 100 million as a possible price for Voltemade, again, the striker that we're linked with. And he wants Bayern, by the way. And he told Stuttgart that he doesn't want to be playing at Stuttgart. He wants to go Bayern. So Bayern better take care of this. But let's read this. But Uli Honeß apparently didn't read it up properly again. He's only interested in attacking other people to distract from his own mistakes. Outdated, stubborn guy. I know the market, both domestically and internationally, and I still believe this assessment is correct. Gittins cost around 60 million and isn't even an international player. Gittins to Chelsea, 60 million. Not international player. Now don't get it twisted. He's a talented footballer, can provide impact, can help. In purple patches, can even provide GA. However, there's a reason why he doesn't join the national team. Because managers at times look at the end product. If there's something he misses in a consistent basis, is end product. He's a killer in front of goal in spells, but they're not willing to be looking at spells. Yeah? So, no, he's not ass. I don't think he's ass. I just don't think he's very raw. I think the problem with him is very raw. I don't think he's ass. I just think he's very raw. Brother, I'm taking Anweri in a fucking heartbeat. Now, let's continue. And he's also had worse season than Voltemade. Yes, I agree, because Voltemade in half a season. By the way, do you guys want to know a fun fact? Hey, any of you gooners around? Any of you gooners around? Oh, you're around. Want to know a fun fact? Good thing you're getting Jokeras. You know why? Because Voltemade, I believe, he has 12 goals since January. Yeah? Because beforehand, he wasn't playing. It was Undav and Demirovic. You know what Šeško has in an entire season? 13. Now, don't you think that's an embarrassment for Šeško, but that's something good from Voltemade? That in itself should tell you everything you need to know. But this board don't want to see fucking shit at all. They don't want to see fuck all, do they? They don't want to see fuck all, bro. This is the problem. Because why?
That's the donkey. You're a donkey.
Bunch of donkeys. That's why. Anyway, he said, I predicted for Florian Wirtz many months ago that total package would be around 250 million. That's including the wages, by the way, for those who don't understand. 150 in the fee, and then I believe the rest would have been, so it would have been wages, I'm sure. So it would have been 150. So 100. No, wait. Yeah, so I think within 4 years he was going to get 25 M's. So, yeah. Marmoush has 15. There you go. In half a season as well, see? Man said he's a mutant. Brother, he's speaking more facts than anybody else in our board. So, do me a favor, stop making sense. Stick to Barcelona, bro. Yeah, and go cry about the fact you couldn't get Nico Williams. Fraud. Anyway, let's move on. Where was I before I got interrupted? Where was I? Yeah, 250 million, or not interrupted. Here, 250 million. And that's what happened. These simply are the numbers nowadays. Exactly, because market inflated since the PSG transfer with the Neymar to PSG. At FC Bayern, things are only seen from one side. And that side he's talking about is the side of valuation for money, which is overdone. That is a problem. Anyway, that's what happened, man. Well, where was it? One side. See, yeah, now it is. Yeah, exactly. So one side, yes. And then let me just, okay, when I think, let's do from here. Okay, good, perfect. And he says, when I think of Jamal Musiala, Bayern would want much more for him then. For example, when Wirtz cost, or he's saying, for example, Wirtz cost. Okay, I get it now. I thought you said when. Okay, so here he talks about Jamal Musiala, right? So if we want 175 million release clause, now realistically, the fact he has a release clause is crazy, but I get why. In case Bayern is not in a good state, he can leave on a release clause. Understood, and the valuation is high enough. I understand. I'm not with it, but I get why. I understand, like Musiala, he wants what's best for his career. So it is what it is. But again, Bayern wanted a lot of money for Musiala if he is to go. Same should apply for Wirtz. That's what what's his name is saying, Matthias. Bayern would want 180 million. See? Exactly. I said 175. It's 180. There you go. I actually think it's 175. I don't think it's 180. In the clause, it's 175. Maybe there's like a specific add-on. I don't know. But maybe there's like a 5 mil add-on on it. I don't know. But it is 175 initially. So why can't Wirtz cost 150 or Voltemade 80 to 100 million? Uli Honeß lives in his own world. He may no longer be up to date with the transfer market. Facts. Bayern München wants a player who now has that market. A reminder, FC Bayern already spent 80 million on Lucas Hernandez back in 2019. And by the way, he got injured. But at the time when we got him, I have to admit it was a good signing because we needed a center back at the time. And even though we won the Champions League the following season and he didn't play, he eventually, over time, was starting to play a role till he got injured again. So, yes, it does look like a waste of money because of the fact that he got injured. But when he was playing, he was performing. That's one thing I will give Lucas Hernandez. Honeß should investigate internally. Why didn't FC Bayern and their scouts discover Voltemade earlier? If they scouted them earlier, guess what? Now we don't have to be paying the big bucks. So, hey, good question. Good question. Wait, maybe why didn't they do their scouting properly? Or actually, I'll do you one better. When you do the scouting and you see there's a talent there, why don't you give them more minutes in certain games? Instead, what they do is they either send them on loan only to come back and then sell them. Or just quick sell. Like Ultimate Team. Just you take this controller, quick sell, boom, done. Okay. What are we doing, man? Come on, bro. Like, it's just so dumb. And why did they only become aware of him now? Yeah, man, it's just dumb. With Voltemade, the VfB management did much better job. Instead, Bayern brought in Joao Palhinha for 50 million, which, by the way, at the time I thought was a good idea. I'm not going to lie. Who has so far only been a backup player. Yeah, but to be honest, that happened because when they got him in, they should have known. Actually, one thing I will say, I personally think him at Bayern is a good thing. But Vincent Kompany is not a fan of his. So they should have at least asked Kompany if that's the profile of midfielder that he wanted. He did not want that profile of midfielder. Then why did you get him? Obviously, he wants that profile that's similar to Pavlo Kimmich. Hell, Stiller is a profile of Kompany's. Why don't you go get that? Why didn't they go get him earlier? If they were, you know what I mean? It's just the way that they make decisions is dumb. But I actually think he is suitable for Bayern in terms of like being a part of the squad. But I understand what Matthias means, like 50 million for a backup player. But like, I actually don't mind him. Barely playing even in unimportant games. These are the problems Honeß should be addressing. And then he was asked, will you sue Honeß? He said, that does not do me any good. It doesn't do Bayern any good. And it would produce more headlines. You see where the problem lies with this board. You see what Mateo said sums up Bayern problems. But fans want to tell me when we didn't get Wirtz or we don't, or like when I want to demand for players that we're broke. Yeah, Habibi, do your fucking research about our club before you say we're fucking broke. We ain't broke for fucking shit. The guy literally exposed Honeß in a fucking heartbeat, just like that. Just like that. And this is why I get infuriated with this fucking club. Because I'm just bored. It's because we could be competing with the best of the fucking best if we just got the players in and the right management in. We have the funds. The funds are there. But the mentality is not. It's not the same as it used to be. Or maybe the mentality of how they spend money is the same, but the mentality of adapting to the generation is not there. This is the problem. He is on Madrid radar. He should be on ours. We let him go in 2021 or 2020, I should say, after we won the Champions League. What's this guy saying? Do you think we're going to pull this P-teen? What does that mean? I don't know what that word means. It's just dumb, man. It's just dumb. Brother, the only one talking bollocks is you. Voltemade is better than Ekitike, in my opinion. Ekitike is good, but he's not ready yet. And by the way, the thing is with Voltemade, he's staying in Germany. I actually don't think Voltemade should even go to the Premier League. He should stay in the Bundesliga. Bayern is the place to go to. I feel like Bayern is like one of them shortcut clubs he can go to. Because by the way, I feel like he can still work on the physicality. Like by the way, people need to understand he's hella tall. How tall is he? I think he's like 6'5". He's 6'5" and can move. Or actually, maybe he can move to the Premier League. But the problem is with the Premier League, yes, he may have the physicality, but his decision making. So. Oh, you mean despite what? You mean after Leão or Volta? Because if we talk about Leão, I don't know. Voltemade, I'm sure we're gonna go after. It's just a matter if we're gonna pay the money. That's what I think. Because Voltemade wants us anyway, so they're gonna approach that. It's just a matter of, pay the money. Yeah, Ekitike has a different option, cool. But to start, no. That's the thing. But yeah, man, Mateus literally just sent Honeß packing, bro, with that statement. Because, I'm sorry, Honeß is, again, like he said, outdated. The guy thinks we're back in 2000s. No. Or like late 20 or early 2010s. Nah. We are in 2025. Yeah, get used to the fact that the market's inflated. Get used to the fact that you're going to have to get certain players, even though they're not worth the money. Because why? You want to win. Until then, don't expect to win anything. But that's not good for our fans at all. That's not good for the history for the legacy of the club. Because by the way, I'm going to tell you something. We keep on going at this rate, and certain clubs can overtake us in stature of the club. Because I genuinely think we are top 3 clubs in world football. I think Madrid, Barca, Bayern, top 3 clubs in world football. The problem is the way we're moving, we're allowing clubs like Liverpool to overtake us. Hell, who knows if Milan somehow come back one day and they'll overtake us. You know what I mean? The way PSG moving, the way Man City moving, they'll eventually overtake us. Let's say hypothetically Arsenal do anything. Not like they will, but let's say they do. Maybe they do. So Chelsea, we're allowing clubs to overtake us in stature of the club in terms of trophies and everything. I do not want that. I don't want that. And this is why this club needs to fucking wake up. What do you mean top 3 clubs in 2000s were not the same in 2010s and not the same in 2020s? So what are you trying to say? Are you trying to say each club had their time? Is that what you're trying to say? Or are you just trying to say I don't get what your point is with that one. You're gonna have to elaborate with that one. But man, the mentality has to change as a whole. It just has to change as a whole. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Yeah, clubs go up and down, but we're talking from when football started to now. Because remember, most decades Bayern's been very, very good. Most decades, Bayern been very good. That's something you need to understand. Now, I know I was playing in the Bundesliga player role. You know when was the last time that we were consistently shit? When Hamburg was dominating, There was another team dominating, like, which was like before the 70s. Otherwise, nearly every decade, at least in German football, dominant. Now in Europe, and when Europe would somehow make it far, and we did have, even though we did have our issues would be solved quickly, you know? So yeah, that's why I'm saying that we are top 3. Bro, the thing is, they have 6 Champions Leagues, they have 20 leagues, and they have, how many FA Cups and Carabaos do Liverpool have? I don't know. The thing is, we have 6 Champions just like them, 34 Bundesliga. Now, people will say that's not as valuable as Premier League. That's bullshit, because you're winning a league that represents your country, so who gives a fuck, right? And let's be honest, there were teams that Bayern had that if they were in the Prem would have done well. A lot of them as well. Yeah, it's just this version of Bayern wouldn't. And then we have 20 pokals. I don't know how many FA Cups do they have. And leagues, we have 34, they have 20, so yeah, see, 10 Carling Cups and 4. See what I mean, bro? They can't be bigger than us, man. I'll be real. They can't. Like, Liverpool fans need to they need to stop pushing this into, bro. They need to worry about Man United being bigger than them or not. They need to worry about that debate. Don't worry with Bayern München. Both Man United and Bayern and Liverpool, worry about yourselves. Or fight amongst yourselves, because we are on the top of the food chain, bro. We're the Madrids and Barcelona. Hell, you can even add AC Milan or Juventus into the mix. Like, we're at the top of the food chain, bro. I told you, we make one of the most revenues in world football. I literally told you at one point this past year, I believe we made the second most revenue. The only one who made the most is Real Madrid. If you want to go by business, we can, bro. The only problem with Bayern München, I would say, is Bayern München have a big fan base in Asia, and a big fan base in the United States outside of Germany, right? And they have some fans scattered in Europe. In the Middle East, however, I do have to say, they have a decent amount of fans. However, they don't have as much as elsewhere. Like in the Middle East, by the way, they have, like over here, we have a lot of La Liga fans, like I'm talking about El Clasico fans, Barça, Real Madrid, AC Milan, Juventus fans, Inter Milan fans, and we have Premier League fans like Arsenal, Man United, Chelsea even. By the way, there's a good amount of Chelsea fans in Saudi. That's why you see Shergi, the Saudi Chelsea fan, around on social media, because there's a good amount of Chelsea fans. Like, in the Middle East, you see them fans more than you see Bayern fan base, you know? And part of it is to do with the political views of Bayern as well. Part of it, that's why. It's because Bayern move politically in the opposite direction of the Arabs, which I won't get into completely. But, yeah, that's why. Yeah, that is pretty true. Some become fans during Zidane era and Ronaldinho era, and some became fans during the what era was it? The Ronaldo Messi era, and Neymar all that. Depends when you started being a fan. Yeah, but that's all they care about, bro. So I had to try to beat them in their game. 6. That's why I'm so confused when Vert said Liverpool is a top 3. They're not, though. They're not. He's just saying that for PR. He's saying that for PR. He actually doesn't believe in that shit, bro. The guy was gonna choose Bayern, and then our board wasted time, and he chose Liverpool. So, and by the way, I'm not one of them guys that's saying he ratted Bayern. No, I'm saying he changed his mind because our board was on moving serious. Just speaking the truth. So, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the stream here. Who should I redirect? Is there anyone I can redirect to? Because I really need to go. Redirect. No, Bayern's owned by so majority fan owned, and then they have scattered percentage of ownerships like Adidas, Audi, Paul Harbour, I believe, is another one. Adidas, Audi, Paul Harbour, and then there's another, and German Deutsche Telekom and Allianz. There you go. Allianz, Adidas, and Audi. There you go. So, and then there's obviously Paul Harbour sponsoring and all that stuff. But majority, like we're 75% owned by fans, even though it's 50 plus 1 rule. Like that's how much we go by that rule. Like the reason why it's 75% owned is because we basically purchased majority of the or like Bayern sold majority fan memberships. More than Dortmund, more than anybody. Man said Barca's not on the list. There you are. But yeah, guys, who can I redirect to? Nobody is live. Fuck. Nobody going live in a bit? See, and Sports is going live. I don't know when he's going live. Is nobody going live? Yeah, there's nobody that's going live right now, so there's no point in redirecting to anybody, realistically. Okay, then, so I'm literally the last guy you're watching right now. Guys, I'm going to end it here, though. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, press the alarm bells for future content notifications, like, comment your way, go check socials, and inshallah you're well, whatever you may be. I'm going to bounce. Take care. And on our way out, what we're going to do, we're going to play a clip to sum up Max Erbel and Honeß, the way they talk, bro. Get Leão, get whoever over the line. Because all you do is this. See you later.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog shit.